Guess who's back, baby? MultiVersus, me, and certainly not your father. Now let's just talk about MultiVersus real quick, as it's just around the corner, do you know what I mean? It's coming out real soon, in case you didn't know, which I hope you do know. Now everyone's obviously very intrigued with, you know, the Unreal Engine upgrade and all these new features we got coming, new characters, this and that. But you know, one thing that them actually aren't talking about a lot is the new PvE mode. Like, yeah, some people covered it, but they didn't cover it properly. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's how you get people pregnant. You gotta cover it, bruv. You gotta cover that properly. So let's get straight into it. Now, the PvE feature that's coming to MultiVersus will most likely be called Guild Dungeon Mode, or something like that, something along those lines, right, according to the data leaker. And what's really important to note as well is that it's going to work very, very similarly to Smash Ultimate's World of Light, which basically means, right, you get into a battle and then you move one square. A bit, you know, to really simplify, it's kind of going to be like Monopoly. Now, one thing we know as of quite recently is that Gleamium is going to be free to earn. That's right, you can still buy it, not stopping you from buying it. I mean, if you want to go spend your money on that, it's cool, innit? Like, I could never personally, just my rent money, but you can earn it now. So this is going to be a big thing, right? Because when you're playing PvE, you're sitting there grinding hours on hours on hours like a slave. You can most likely earn Gleamium at the same time while moving up squares. Like, if they're going to do this PvE thing properly, they're going to make it so you advance in game and at the same time they reward you, so they kind of get you hooked to it, which is smart. Because, you know, one of the big reasons why people quit is because there wasn't really much to do besides fighting each other, which, you know, it's a fighting game, so it's to be expected. But they had these little game modes like custom modes, fun mode, and all of this crap, and it was just like, no, let's be honest, man, no one wants to fight a big Shaggy, right? It was silly. No one wants to do a 6v6, none of that. It was just quite pointless, and it died out quite quickly. So there's going to be a lot of people now coming back to the game. They're going to see this PvE mode and this great big map, right? And they're going to be like, right, I'm going to play this game every single day. I mean, they're going to literally just get hooked to it. So are we. And talking about being hooked, cut this part out. Now in the trailer, shortly before Boardman Tony speaks about the PvE, straight after that we can hear him talk about the space modulator. And that's, you know, we can safely assume that's going to be like the storyline of the PvE. So you're probably going to advance squares here and there, and then slowly make your way to Marvin the Martian, who will most likely be the final boss as well for PvE. And you're going to have to rack up some kind of points or either defeat him in battle. We're going to have to just wait and see how that works out. But it's also important to mention that the space modulator itself, I don't know if you guys watch Looney Tunes, but I used to watch this, you know, I mean, I used to watch this shit all the time when I was a kid. But basically this thing here was made to blow up the earth and that, like a big explosion. So that's probably going to be the premise of the story. Basically Marvin the Martian being a villain, trying to blow everything up, and you just go from square one all the way to Marvin the Martian, trying to stop my man. And every time you advance a square or level, stage, whatever you want to call it, you get, you know, some type of reward. And at certain stages you're going to be able to get Gleamium as well, I imagine, because if they're telling you it's earnable in game, right, you can acquire it without, you know, the use of any microtransactions, then that would be the way to go about it. And at the same time, this would keep the man them playing the game. But we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But in my opinion, it's the safest speculation as of now. It's important to mention as well, like, they talked about bosses in PvE. Now, despite the engine upgrade, there's only so much you can do with a game like MultiVersus when it comes down to bosses and whatnot. Like, we're not talking about Elden Ring, Dark Souls, all of that, you know what I mean? Like, they've got their limits as to what they can and can't do, and at the same time they're working within a small budget as well, I imagine. So we've, you know, I mean, we're probably gonna come across a big Shaggy, something like that. But obviously, if they've got any brain, they'll add something like Big Chungus in there, because obviously, you know what I mean, that's a good idea, innit? But yeah, to sum it up, boys, we're gonna have a sick storyline, earnable rewards, bosses, hopefully a good map setup as well, with different stages and whatnot. Like I said, we've seen that working already on a couple of different stages inspired by Dexter's Laboratory and all of them ones there. But if they take this seriously, this could really just up the game and get a lot of people playing who aren't even into fighting games. So this is like a big thing to consider, because when this relaunch happens, there's going to be a lot of men jumping on that game who haven't played it before, or a lot of people that's coming back. So let's just hope this time they actually come back with a bang in it. Alright boys, like, what else they got to do? Subscribe and comment, because I need money. Basically, I've got a son, and he's in hospital at the moment, and we can't lie about GoFundMe pages. Alright, my bad. Alright boys, please like the video, subscribe and that, and you know what I mean. Until next time, let's go.